In the shadowed corners of racing's memory, yesterday's champions await their triumphant return, patiently biding their time on the sidelines. And now, the wait is over. They are back. SARCO, UK versus USA, powered by NAG.
There was nothing quite like paging through a new NAG magazine. The smell of those freshly printed pages, incredible game artwork, and of course, all the gaming and hardware insights you can handle. Did you know that the NAG magazine is back in print? Yes!
Grab the latest copy online. It's the 2023 annual edition and each magazine is individually numbered. You can also look forward to an exclusive poster in each magazine, and there are 2 cover DVDs with exclusive game demos, apps and many hidden Easter eggs. Get yours at shop.nag.co.za before they're all gone.
We feel you. There was nothing quite like paging through a new NAG magazine. The smell of those freshly printed pages, incredible game artwork, and of course, all the gaming and hardware insights you can handle. Did you know that the NAG magazine is back in print? Yes!
Grab the latest copy online. It's the 2023 annual edition and each magazine is individually numbered. You can also look forward to an exclusive poster in each magazine, and there are 2 cover DVDs with exclusive game demos, apps and many hidden Easter eggs. Get yours at shop.nag.co.za before they're all gone.
Good evening everybody. A very quick rush start. We are okay, we're back. Here we go. So yes, good evening everybody. We are back. It is Wednesday night racing. It is the finale for this evening. Season 1, and man oh man, what a crazy season it has been. Unfortunately, I don't have Carl with me here this evening. He was running a little bit late, but perhaps we will catch him online a little bit later. We have started the qualifying, just getting up all the screens that we want. But essentially, the format for this evening is a 1 hour, 15-minute race. And with that does come one mandatory pit stop. When the guys joined the practice server, it was raining. It looks like within the qualifying right now, no rain on the horizon just yet. But we don't know what is going to happen in the race itself. So currently on track, we do have David Farrell, who's now just across that start-finish line. Leon de Villiers setting himself up, coming through the last corner, turn number 20. He's going to be starting his absolute flyer. Paul Fencer currently in 4th place, but the people that we are definitely going to be looking out for this evening, and that is Henry Meyer, who is currently the championship leader. And when we say a championship leader, he is 30 points clear of the 2nd place Ryan Ottens. The reality though is there are still many ways for the person who's down in 5th place, and that person is Anrich Serodio. 6 points separates Ryan, who's in 2nd, Moosa in 3rd, Anrich Seegers in 4th, and Anrich Serodio in 5th. 6 points is all that it matters, and the reality is that Henry can hang on to this championship provided he stays ahead of Ryan and Muaath, because there are just enough points to go around to get anybody else into the championship. In terms of the Pro-Am, Craig Eekhout has got 8 points up on Marius Bothma. Marius in his Porsche 992 GT3R, and Ulrich in the Ferrari So 3 different manufacturers. He is 12 points behind Marius, currently in 3rd place. So that is going to be very, very interesting. Currently, Henry Meyer has put up a 206.2. That is currently the fastest man on track. And let's get those personal bests up so we are able to see them. There you go. It's a 206.3 Fleming, 206.6 Marius, 207.6 David. He managed to get that 207.9. Ruan Haneker, he's just put in a 208.3. Leon de Villiers, he will cross the line to start his flying lap. Just behind him is Paul Fento. We saw him crossing the line to begin his run for his qualifying. Looks like Leon might have invalidated that lap as Paul cuts to the inside. He's going to cross the line, and that is put him into 4th place. Next, coming out of turn number 20 is Rob van der Heever. 8th place there for him. I forget that the start-finish line is right there at the end there. We have Ati Pino, so he's going to be starting his first lap for this evening. Muaath Moosa has completed his outlap, and here he goes towards the line, crosses the line, and that puts him into 2nd place. Fastest first sector there for him. Reino Roberts, out of turn number 20, crosses the line. He's going to be starting his flying lap. Next up, Chris Haneker. He too going to be starting a flying lap. Sean Lerero, currently in 20th place. And just wanted to, while we getting some flying laps underway, quick look at Escada Pretoria, so he'll be on a flying lap as well. Some comments coming through on both Facebook and YouTube. Jason Farmer, good luck everyone. Thank you, SARCO, for hosting such amazing racing. Only a pleasure, Mr. Farmer. We got a Magic Mervyn saying hello, looking forward to the race next season. Oh, that's not a Mervyn, that's a W. My bad. I got that so wrong. Oh, if Carl was here, that would have been a joke number 1. Then we got Chantilly saying, let's go Ottens and Alpha 1 last race. I think it's going to be interesting. Well, the question is, will it rain or will it not? In the server visits that I had made, it probably rained at least 65 to 70% of the time that I was in the servers. So it is definitely going to be interesting. The fact that we're having a dry qualifier for me is pretty interesting. Craig Eekhout currently leading on the Pro-Am. He's going to be looking forward to getting a good run and getting himself ahead of Marius and Ulrich from LTR. So Ati's going to cross the line. Let's see where it's going to put him. 11th place there for Ati. Next up, Craig Eekhout. This is going to be very important for him, because where does he put himself up against Marius? So Craig's only starting his lap now. Craig! I did get that wrong. Nevertheless, there, Chris Haneker, so on his flying lap now through turn number 20, crossing the line, and that puts him into 8th place. Andres Serodio, the man, I'd say, at the bottom of the podium contenders. He's going to cross the line now to start his lap. Then in the background, Sean Lerero, 8th place there for him, so 2 faster sectors and 1 slower sector. That would be his 3rd. Carlo Pretorius, 10th place there for him, so that drops down Leon to 11th position, unfortunately. Justin doing whatever he can to make sure those tires are ready for his flying lap. So he's setting himself up nicely through the last corner, get the drive out. And it is a fantastic, technical yet high-speed flowing track here at the Circuit of the Americas. Will it rain? Who knows? And Stefan Coetzee saying this one lap flyer is defeating me. Stefan, we definitely don't leave it easy for anyone, do we? So Jason Landsberg in the LTR AMR. Try to say that 3 times fast. He's going to cross the line. Where is that going to put him? 15th or so. 13th is the position that he will be starting. Mr. Craig Eekhout. We are going to be benchmarking him up against Marius. Marius Bothma currently in 4th place. Where does Craig find himself crossing the line? 14th place. That's 10 places that Craig is going to have to find. Emily Benz looks like she's pulled out of that and not crossed the line, possibly just invalidating that lap. It is going to be one of the things that we are going to be watching this evening, and that is those track limits. The penalties, drive-throughs are going to be definitely a crucial part of this race. Andres Serodio, where did that put you? Andres Serodio goes into 3rd place. I thought that if I jumped to Seegers it will still hold this camera, but I've done it just too soon. So Serodio, 3rd place there for him. 206.625. So that is 0.07 of a second was the difference between him and Moosa. So Justin now coming through turn number 19. Then you can just look at the track map. That turn 20 is a lot tighter than you think. It's not quite to 90 degrees. Justin goes into 8th position. Next up around the corner is Ryan Ottens crossing the line to begin his flying lap. Sometimes I get myself so excited. So I'm sure Chantilly's will be watching this with bated breath. Can jump on board with Anrich Seegers, aka Sugars. This is now coming down the back straight towards turn number 12. Looking for the little red house on the right hand side. On the brakes, down through the gears, getting that car to rotate nicely through turn number 12. Don't go too wide because it just doesn't get the traction out there. Just missing that inside apex, but he's got the car to rotate very nicely. Still not spinning too much of the rear wheels. But you've got to be very patient here through turn number 15. Don't run wide onto the little sausage curb on the exit. Able to touch the curb through a 16. Now touch it on 18. Then through 19, as wide as you can get them, as tight as you can, but stay off the orange curb on the inside. Just before the second last brake marker on the brakes. Don't run too wide over that little sausage curb, it will bounce you off. And it puts the Seegers up into a 2nd place. Great lap there for him. No, that's not who I wanted. That's who I wanted. So Christopher Radloff crossing the line now to begin his a flying lap. Jason Farmer starting his flying lap as well. Next up on track we do have Ryan. This is going to be not the one that we wanted. So there we go. That's the camera angle we're looking for. Very wide there on the entry into turn 20. Crossing the line. Where does that put him? That puts him into 2nd place, right behind the leading competitor. So very, very interesting. It is 1st and 2nd. Hold on, I must actually just bring this up quickly. let me just bring this up because I think what has happened, I think they're just out of sequence. Because on the championship, it is Henry, Ryan, Muaath, Anrich, then Andre. And all that's happened is that Muaath and Anrich have traded places there, but the top 5 in terms of the championships make up the top 5 in the points. That is crazy. So Christopher Radloff in his Alpha 1 Esports BMW. In through turn number 19, now on the brakes. Turn 20. Just seemed to miss that inside curb there. He'll cross the line and that puts him into a 7th place. So Jason Farmer now last person to qualify here this evening, and Jason goes to P14. That, ladies and gentlemen, is now the conclusion of the qualifying, and it is now going to be a 75 minutes of absolute craziness. The weather seems good. I'm not seeing any rain yet. But with 75 minutes left to go, that rain could come. We can see that the sun is currently shining. And if I had a singing voice, I could have dropped in a little song. So let me know, everybody in the chat, who are you supporting here this evening? Have you shared this far and wide with your families and friends to see who's going to be the 2024 Season 1 Championship winner this evening? Because everything will be decided here this evening. Genre say, don't you dare. I'm sure that's because I mentioned something about a little bit of rain coming. But that is your current championship leader. But will the Alpha 1 Esports drivers behind have anything to say? JD Simpson is showing respect there for Seegers. Indeed, Seegers it is. Then we have the 2 Project Vapor cars, followed by another LNR car of Fleming Bauer. Now that is a pretty cool shot. Look at that. So all the cars lined up at turn number 19. And here we go. Time to just get into that heli view just for the first couple of laps. In the driver's briefing, we did say please just be cautious through those first couple of corners, because all the way through turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even through 9 and 10, you can get the cars too wide, but then you have that massive concertina effect going into turn number 11. Great shot as all the drivers now line up. And it should be
green light, go, go, go.
Green light, and we are racing here. The last race of Season 1 at COTA. Andre Serodio going to the inside, but Seegers closing up. Ryan Ottens around the outside with Moosa. So far, too wide. Everybody in the background not seeing any contact flags coming through. So it looks like everybody is safely through. Oh, a little bit wide there for Christopher Radloff further down. I'm seeing contact warning there for Emily Benz and Christopher Radloff. but they've already started getting into a single file further down the field. Little move there on the inside for Jean-Ray Bierkus in his Godzilla, just now slotting in behind Ulrich the Jager. Seegers dropping down the order as Ryan Ottens is up into a second place once again. And Andres Serodio up from fifth place now up into fourth, going ahead of Moosa. Single file down the backstrace. Andres Serodio having a look to the inside. Isn't he close enough to have a move? No, he's not. So he will hang on to that. Chris Heineke move there to the inside. I think that is on Justin. No, it is David Farrell, who's now just dropped that place, falling down the order. Thank you, Mr. Owen Bell, of approving of this. Oh, little sideways action there for that Porsche as he got onto the power. And further back, Jean-Ray hanging on to the inside through turn number 14. But that's going to open up. Well, there's a Ferrari in the middle coming back at everybody at turn number 14. I wonder whether that was a little bit of contact. But it looks like everybody has been able to get past there without any further incident. But we'll now jump to the front of the field, and you can just see now a single file as everybody starts slotting into those positions. And it is Henry Meyer out in front, starting to open up a gap between himself and Ryan Ottens. Just under a second now is that gap. But Andres Serodio right on the back of Seegers, 0.4 of a second. And there definitely is going to be some track limit warnings here this evening. Justin Lotus and Ruan Heineke having a little battle as that gap was sitting at 0.2, now opens up to a 0.6. Ricardo Pretorius right behind Jason Farmer. And you can see the two stablemates battling it out there. And just behind them is Leon de Villiers in that BMW. A little bit further down, Craig Eekhout having lost 6 places there from where he started, so falling down the order. Rob van der Heever right up behind David Farrell. And that is David doing many spins there. Wonder if we can go back and see exactly what happened. It looks like we have just missed it. So we'll definitely get onto the replay a little bit later on and jump into that and go and see what's happened. Ooh. As going a little bit wide there is Rob van der Heever. Paul the Wall Fencer right up behind Fleming Bauer. Paul up 1 place from where he had qualified. Paul in the AMR as they now across that start-finish line, which is the finish line. Start line, finish line is just out of the exit of turn number 20. Frankie and Rona Roberts. Little contact, a marker there for them. But Jason Farmer now, right up behind Sean Marrero, who has cut off Pretorius right behind them. So an LTR 3-way horse is building up there. But the battle we need to have a look at is Seegers has got the Project Paper drivers right behind him. Andres Serodio, 0.4 of a second in his Lamborghini, is not making it easy for the Ferrari driver to get away. Because as he battles to get that traction, Andres Serodio is going to have a look. Can he go around the outside at turn number 11? Don't think you can. Was that the little cut back? Just not making contact there. So great driving for the two of them. But now trying to squeeze him over is Seegers. But Andres Serodio on the inside, and look here, Moosa. Will he get the drive? Is that a little a shake and bake Ricky Bobby, a little bump there? Will he slot in Muaath Moosa? It takes too much of that inside curb, and that's going to allow for Christopher Radloff to go around the outside. Has that move been completed? Christopher Radloff still on the outside. Muaath Moosa losing the traction, trying to get that pedal down at turn number 13. They'll go through 14, and Christopher Radloff will move up that place. And at the same time, Anrich Serodio now is away from Seegers. Chris Honecker up onto the back of Ruan. Here's a brother, and definitely no love lost between these two brother rivals. But it does look like Ruan is starting to create just a little bit of a safety net between himself and his brother in that Porsche. But just have a look at this battle. This is for a 4th and 5th place. Christopher Radloff in the background there, got Muaath Moosa right on him. Seegers not allowing Anrich Serodio to get away. A little bit of a touching there between Andre and Anrich. But it is just a contact warning. The drivers are not off the track. And Justin Lotes is putting a lot of pressure onto Marius Bothma now in his 992 Porsche. So Marius currently leading ahead of Craig Eekhout, who is currently leading the Pro-Am class. Is there a move here for Justin? Very close there into that braking zone at turn number 11. But that Porsche does get out of the corners so well. And you can see a lot of these little two-way battles happening all through the field. Is there a late move here for Justin into turn number 17? So Marius really positioning their car on the inside. Justin having a late lunge and is going to force that move. And Marius, can he try go around the outside? No, he doesn't. He does just slot in behind and holds onto that position. Muaath Moosa is fighting back on Christopher Radloff. Christopher has not been able to get away from him just yet. We have seen these two BMWs have some incredible battles over the last couple of weeks. And unfortunately, a little bit of contact there at COTA and sending them both off. Going down the corkscrew. But both of the drivers were still able to have a conversation afterwards. And that's exactly what we want. That respect both on and off the field. Damn it, use your words. That is Craig Eekhout. Has done a pit stop, which is why he is so far down, and I can confirm that he has stopped and done a pit stop, which I do think is pretty tricky. And the reason I'm saying that is that we don't know if it's going to rain. So he would have already had done his pit stop. Jason Landsberg looking for an opportunity on the inside of Stefan Coetzee, not able to make that move stick. Still not sure why we're showing lots and lots of contact down the water here. The other person who has gone for an early pit stop is Jabulani Madzibandodo. Pit stop there for him, so he is now out. Emily Bentz down one position from where she started, currently in a bit of no man's land. But just time to keep her head down, get those lap times ticking over, and soon those positions will start coming towards herself. Then Stefan Coetzee has got Jason Landsberg and Rob van der Heever right behind them. But that AMR in a straight line is so quick. Let's see if Jason will be able to slot it up on the inside here at turn number 17. And it looks like he is. Will he be able to get it slowed down in time? Rob going to have a look at as well on the inside. Stefan closing that door, not allowing him any opportunity there. But now Jason is able to just start closing that gap. And extending the lead or closing the gap. We're talking about Rob to try to close that gap, because now, whoa! Little snap of the rear there for Jason, and that nearly got Stefan Couture to drive all over his rear bumper. So Stefan losing a lot of that track on the outside through a turn number 19. Will Rob have a dive here through 20? Just getting out of the way, and that's going to allow Justin, or was that David Farrell, to get a run on him. Going up the hill, and David Farrell now on the inside. He should be able to make this move stick pretty easily, and so he does. And that unfortunately now drops Rob down the order into 24th position. Another battle going between teammates is between Gerard Pretorius and Jason Farmer. And what is happening here, I'm seeing movement. And that is what I'm seeing. That is a three-way battle. Oh, there's contact. That looked like it was Fleming Bauer, who was right up behind Seegers. Come on, give me that screen. Have we caught it? We have missed it, unfortunately. But that looked like it was Fleming Bauer in the toe, misjudging when to pull out of that move. And unfortunately, catching the rear of Seegers and sending him off the track. Battle further down is between Sean Lerero and Ruan Heineke. And just ahead is Chris Heineke, but starting to open up a gap between himself and his brother. Further down, that's Craig Eekhout just getting out of the way, and that is because it is the LTR drivers, Gerard Pretorius, who does have Leon de Villiers behind him. So a little battle happening between Leon and Gerard, that gap now having opened quite substantially. Christopher Radloff down in 10th place, or 9th place now, is right on the back of Chris Heineke. And if he can get this car hooked up out of the exit of turn number 11, he should be able to set up the move at turn number 12. We know how good the BMW is in a straight line. Still seeing lots and lots of sun out. We have gone through 15 minutes. Christopher late on the brakes. He is going to be able to squeeze that pass. Chris is going to try, hang on there, go around the outside. That is going to put him on the inside for turn number 13. Christopher's going to have to try the under the cutback. But now this is going to put Chris on the inside through turn 14. And he should be able to hang on now into 15, unless Christopher can get the power on. I realize it's Chris and Chris. Whoa! Christopher Radloff getting very sideways with that BMW, but now he'll have the faster line going into turn number 19. Then on the brakes, Willie is slotted on the inside at 20. Heineke shuts the door, but now it's going to be a drag up the hill. And I do think that Christopher got the better run. You can see he's already got himself alongside the Porsche. As they head up into turn number 1, you can just see that elevation. Chris just showing that it is his intention to close the door, but he had to leave that space for Christopher. Christopher around the outside, gets back into that racing line through turn number 2. And now should be a single file again through the S's at 3, 4, 5, change of direction. Once again, it tightens up through turn number 6. Dabble the brakes, gear down at 7, then through turn number 8. Nice and tight through turn number 9. And then the little kink at turn 10 will then leaves you on the way down to turn... Is that Marius? Sorry, that was Marius, not Christopher. I mean, that was Marius, not Chris Heineke. Did get that wrong. But now Chris and Marius having a little battle of their own now. So to the inside goes Chris Heineke. Marius going to go around the outside. But it looks like Chris was able to get the power down a lot better than Marius was. So he has been able to move up that position. But here we go, too wide through turn number 13. And Gerda Pretorius having to let Ruan Heineke go through there. So that is the four-way horse of LTR. But this Porsche battle between Chris and Marius is still not over. That's who's got the better drive coming out of turn number 20. And you can just see the elevation changes. It is downhill across the starting line and then back up the hill again through turn number 1. Big snap of the rear as Chris Heineke touches that curb. Marius is able to close up that gap now within 0.2, but then single file through here and you do get a little bit of wash if you are too close to the car ahead of you. Chris Heineke a little bit wider there on that entry, which does compromise his entry here into turn number 7, but does look like he's been able to recover that speed. And just the way that Porsche is leaning on that rear suspension is definitely something special. Just jump up to our current race leader, that is Henry Meyer. 6.4 seconds, 6.5 seconds ahead of Ryan Ottens. There he is in the background in the Porsche, but the McLaren driver getting everything in the right place where he needs it to be. But now this is the battle between the Project Vapor teammates. So currently Moosa is leading Andre Serodio for the current championship points, but if they end like this, Andre will finish ahead of Muaath. Crossing the start-finish line. Will there be a late lunch there for Muaath? He has a little show. Gets that car in. Doesn't get it turned in. Andres Serodio says, thank you very much. I'll take that position back. And Muaath now needing to go and do that all over again. So Rob moving up that position now as David Farrell goes into the pits. So currently we've got Jean-Ray, Frankie, Seegers, Craig Eekhout and Jabulani who have all taken a pit stop. Got Sinclair's tribe wishing let's go a Project Vapor. Let's see who they are cheering. But it is once again the battle between Andres Serodio and Muaath. I didn't see where Muaath got that place back from Andre. But Anrich definitely not letting this fight go to waste. So 54 minutes left of this race here this evening. So David Farrell now on the move once again. We'll just see, because it does look like he has had to stop for some damage. So 85 seconds, so there's an additional 85 seconds. No, there's David, so it's at 64 seconds. So he had stopped for 38, so a little bit of damage to get fixed there. But is now back on track. Rob van der Heever trying to close up onto the back of Ati Pino. Ati starting to move away a little bit, starting to open up the gap, and it still looks like the sun is shining gloriously here this evening. But we do have the service set to ×2 multiplier. So within the in-time game of just under 2 hours, there most definitely can be some rain on the horizon. The question is, will it come or will it stay? Reino Roberts on the back of Leon. Leon doing pretty well up in 15th position. So late lunge there for Reino, and it looks like Leon saw him coming and just instead of fighting him too hard, just allowed him to go. Because now it looks like, was that the setup to get the slipstream, and now set himself up to take the place once again here into turn number 17. Because if that is the case, that has been an absolutely fantastic move, but too much curb. And that's going to allow the Alpha 1 esports driver to take that place back. And Renault now opens up a gap of 1 second. So a great idea, just unfortunately that execution just didn't come off as expected. So Etienne Mouton on the back of Ulrich Jager, and just behind him is Jason Landsberg. But Etienne, great drive there for him. He's currently up 8 places from where he had started. Jason currently in 19th in the position that he had started, but they are chasing Ulrich Jager. And Ulrich in 17, up 4 places from his qualifying. So Ati and Rob having traded places. But this BMW is just so quick in a straight line. Such a great shot there. You can just see the different changes in elevation, and Ati a little bit too deep and are not able to put enough pressure. Oh, Etienne getting the car very sideways, losing a little bit of that grip, which did allow Ulrich just to open up a gap a little bit more. Jason now closing up onto the back of these two. Ulrich losing a little bit of traction as he transitioned through turn number 8 into 9. And did we just lose him? I'm so confused. So I'm trying to find Ulrich the Jager, but now there's Etienne. So I don't know if anybody saw that, but it does look like we have lost Ulrich the Jager, because I'm not seeing him now. It looks like we've actually lost 2 drivers, and Ulrich definitely is one of them. So into the pits goes Justin Lotus. That is why we're getting that confirmation that he is dropping down the order. Andrei Serodio and Moosa. Muaath now having opened a gap of just under 2 seconds between himself and his Project Vapor counterpart. Fleming Bauer in 5th place. 3.5 seconds between this battle between Andrei and Muaath. I must say the camera angles here at Circuit of America are pretty freaking awesome. I must say they really are good. Ooh, what's happening down here? Jason Farmer was slowed up. Has he just lost a place? Let's go back and have a quick look. Yeah. Oh, getting that car very, very sideways. And not taking out the Alpha 1 driver with him. So great control there, Jason. So that was Rainer Roberts that did go through, moving himself up into 13th place. Now Leon de Villiers on all over the back of Jason. Oh, Leon is sideways. That's not going to help get him drive into turn number 14. But out of 15, we have seen how many overtaking opportunities there have been going into turn number 1. Just got to make sure you could get yourself a good exit. So far it looks like Leon is able to close up onto the back of Jason Farmer. Can he just stick the turn in? Well, he will get the place as Farmer peels off and goes into the pits. Obviously we're quite happy that there may not be rain. No, that's not. Oh, so that is Rainer Roberts going to the inside of Craig Eekhout. Craig unfortunately being lapped. So Christopher Radloff is up into 7th place. He does have Paul Fenter ahead of him. Paul's fastest lap at 207.1 versus Christopher at 206.2. So Christopher definitely the faster of the 2 drivers. And if we compare the last laps, Christopher did go 2 seconds quicker than Paul. So I'm pretty sure he'll have his eyes set onto the Eleanor driver. The AMR Eleanor driver, or the Eleanor AMR driver. See, my brain worked that out both ways. So into the tricky turn 15. And I must say that BMW is looking pretty hooked up. Normally it would be doing a whole bunch of weird slidey things on the rear. It does look like Christopher has got that set up, hooked up properly. That was a car on the side. Is that car 16? No. It's a car, actual car number 16, not P16. Ah, Emily Benz. Let's just check what happened here. So it was Emily. Looks like she might have lost it coming out of turn number 19 and has made the right decision to go into the pits. On board with Eekhout Muaath. 16th place, up 10 from where he had qualified. Where the battle is going to start getting pretty interesting is now through Christopher Radloff and Paul Venter as they close up to the back of Jabulani and Mati van Dondo down the back straight towards turn number 12. Will Paul have a move to the inside? Yes, he does. Christopher will follow him through. Paul Venter has got a whole bunch of BMW up his rear end at the moment. It looks like Jabulani just a little bit of a tank slapper there. Christopher trying to see the diameter of Paul's rear pipes. Well, a tap of the brakes there through turn number 14. Then a flat out through a 16, 17. Dabble the brakes, gear down at 90. Is this opportunity time for Christopher to set up a move into turn number 1? Across the start finish line. Don't think Christopher is close enough for a move just yet. But has Paul gone too deep? No, it's a late entry, which then gives him a late apex, which allows to get the drive down the hill, but they are going to be single file now through these S's. And here is maximum attack, maximum reward, but also drive through penalty territory. And this is what it looks like on board with Christopher Radloff closing up on Paul Venter. Now that BMW looks like it's doing BMW things. A slidey rear. As both the drivers now start catching up to some of the traffic. Paul moves out very early, and so does Christopher. Looks like the back market did come off the power there. Looks like Paul just was having a little bit of a battle to try and get that car slowed down. And Christopher closing us up once again through this stadium section. And Paul going very deep. Christopher is able to get that big BMW rotated. Looks like he is getting it to work through the twisty stuff, so a little bit better than Paul currently is. Paul's just got to keep it hooked up through turn number 19. Christopher using the rear slide to grabbing a little bit of curb, having a look to the inside at turn 20, not close enough, but now can he get the power on? It looked like he just about drove over that curb, but they are going to be side by side trading places as they come up across the start line. And Christopher Radloff now is on the inside. Still no touching there. Paul goes to the wider line. He's going to try and hold up on the inside, but does have to slot in behind Christopher as they now go through the S's. Great battle there between these two. So we saw these two battling at Laguna Seca. Here they're battling once again, and this is for 19th and 18th position. Stefan Coutier in the Porsche, trying to get Ati Pino. It looks like Ati got the better drive coming out of turn number 20. They're going to be side by side. So Stefan has to just slot in behind, but is there going to be a late lunge? He's going to start aiming towards the apex. Ati is far enough to still own the corner. So Stefan not able to make that move work just yet, so he will have to try once again. We are approaching that halfway mark. Still seeing lots and lots of sun up in the sky and no rain yet. Have a look back from our race leader. There's Ryan Ottens in the background. Paul Fencer deciding to go into the pits now. Now we've got Eekhout chasing down Ruan Hanneke, and Jabulani getting out of the way from this LTR battle. So Ruan and Eekhout now fighting for 11th and 12th position, as we saw Paul Fencer just beating off in the side there. There he is in the pits. But Ruan putting on a 209.4 versus Gerard's 209.0. So Gerard the faster of the two there. So up until P17, those are the drivers that still need to pit. And where does Paul Fencer come out of the pits? Because looking at the closest person to him is Justin Ottens, who has done his pit stop. And Justin has now come up between the battle of Ati and Stefan, as Ati losing a bit of the rear there. Lots of pressure. He's going to have to come off the power, otherwise he get a track violation there. But Paul Fencer has been able to jump Justin Lotus in the pits. And Paul Fencer was fighting Christopher Radloff for 6th and 7th place, which means that Justin is provisionally 9th position, as Justin goes to the inside at turn number 11 and takes that place away from Stefan. And now Ati and Stefan can get back to their fighting ways. Gerard still looking for an opportunity to get past Ruan, but the thing is that it is one thing catching a driver, it is another overtaking. But now that Ruan goes into the pits, will Gerard be able to do the overcut, doing extra laps before those new tires get put on for himself? And that now progresses him up into a 9th position. And currently Henry Meyer 206.1 is his best lap, compared to Ryan Ottens at a 206.5, currently in 2nd place in the Porsche. Moosa in 3rd place, 5.5 seconds down the road, followed by the 4th place Fleming Bauer. Christopher Radloff up into 5th. He is up 2 places from where he qualified, with Chris Hanneke being able to get himself through the field a little bit, getting himself up into 6th. Marius, who qualified in 4th, was it 4th? I've confused myself. It is currently in 7th place. No, he qualified in 8th. Apologies, Marius. He was in 4th originally when we saw the qualifying. Sean Herrera in 8th place, still needing to qualify. And it's kind of this area where Paul Fencer might find himself when he comes out of the pits. Ruan Hanneke just getting the white flag warning, just showing he's a little bit slower, but that's because he has now come out of the pits. Then Gerard Pretorius is in 9th place. Let's change to Gerard when you're ready. What's happening with Ryan? White flag warning. Christopher Radloff taking this time now to go into the pits. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Paul Venter. Christopher having overtaken him. Then slotting just ahead of him is car number 13. Yeah, where's Paul Venter? That's who I want to check out as Christopher gets himself going. He is car number 6, so we can see him on the track map. Paul Venter now coming through the last corner. Christopher Radloff should be just about out the pit box, getting himself up into pace. Paul Venter is going to be able to see him. There they are together, and Paul going a little bit too deep, not able to get the car down, but with Paul having gone into the pits earlier, has not been able to make it, take advantage of those newer tyres. So Paul Venter now, and he was going to need to get those tyres to work. Where is Ryan? I saw Ryan had a warning and then disappeared. Ryan, where are you, Ryan? I think we've lost Ryan Ottens. Ryan, what's happened? Oh wait, there's Ryan. What is going on here? So what I am not understanding, so thank you Shantidis was telling us that he is in the pits, but having dropped all the way down to 22nd, is I would have still assumed that he would have been in this 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th region. So it looks like something definitely did happen, because he has now come out of the pits, but way down in 22nd place, and is now behind a lot more of the drivers that have done that pit stop. Oh no, you see, something was definitely faulty there, because there it's saying that he is in a 6th place. Okay, all makes sense now. Yowzers. And that's what happens when something does not make sense. So Paul Venter still hanging on to the back of Christopher Radloff in his BMW. Paul Venter in his AMR, hanging on to the back of Christopher Radloff in his BMW. Ricardo Pretorius taking opportunity to now go into the pits. And Ryan, currently the highest position driver of the pits. Understanding that he did pit from a 2nd place. Moosa now into the pits. Where are we? 30 minutes left to go. So obviously the guys have got the confirmation that there's no rain expected in the next 30 minutes. So the tyres are now safe to go and put those softs on and not have the wet tyres interfering with that strategy. So Paul still hanging in there. So Moosa now starting to get the dropping down of the order, but he is now leaving the pits. Ryan Ottens going to be crossing the start-finish line. I think this is going to be close, not as close as I thought it would be. So Moosa should just be getting going now. There he is. While Ryan is now heading down the hill towards turn number 2. So Serodio has done his pit stop, and there he'll slot in behind his Project Vapor teammate with a gap of just over 5 seconds. Slowing Marius Bothma. But everything seemed to be on point there. Now Marius in 4th place. Showing that it was up 4 places, but still needing to pit. Stefan Couture going into the pits now. Well, actually on his way out. So Stefan will get himself up to pace. Now Paul Fence is starting to lose just a little bit of ground now between himself and Christopher Radloff. That gap now up into 1.5 seconds. "27 minutes left to go of this race, the final race of the season. It is the double point finale. So far, the man out in front, having just navigated 2 back markers, Henry Meyer, has got Fleming Bauer behind him, a fellow LNR driver. Chris Haneke going into the pits, Marius Bothma going into the pits, Fleming Bauer going into the pits. So Fleming now on his way out. Where is Marius? That's not Marius. That is Marius. So Marius is still in the pits. Fleming on the move. And on his way out, and he will just get himself ahead of Leon, but Leon is a lapped car. I'm pretty sure that Fleming saw that coming and that getting a little bit close for comfort. Paul Fenter closing the gap on the back of Christopher Radloff. Chris Haneke, oh, that's just a slow warning, him coming out of the pits, as well as Marius now coming out of the pits. Louis, you are possibly correct. I know exactly what you were talking about, but it all depends on what the game had picked up. Rowan Haneke, 0.4 of a second between his LTR teammate, Sean Lerero. It does look like Sean has been able to extend that gap a little bit going through those S's. An opportunity for a late lunch there for Run, but it looks like he might be able to get a good drive coming out of turn number 11. Sean getting very much out of the way to try and break this toe. Henry Meyer now out of the pits, having done his pit stop. And Ryan Ottens now going into turn number 1. Just missed Henry. But he'll be now coming through the S's. Very tidy looking McLaren with just over or under 25 minutes left of the last race of season 1 here at SARCO 2024. And for those of you who have not got your NAG magazine, you are able to go and check it out. It is at shop.nag.co.za. nag.co.za. Go get it. I do have mine already. I have edition 01010. Go to the website, order it, and away you go. Get yourself a piece of history, which has been 20 years in the making. You go check out the website. They do have lots of interesting stuff, like the latest podcast, the Under the Table. Go check it out. Some really interesting things being discussed there. Christopher Radloff and Fleming Bauer having a little tussle now. Andre Jabolani just getting himself between Paul, but there he goes, moving to the inside lane. Paul to go around the outside. So Jabolani getting very much out of the way. But is it going to be a race up into the first corner? Because we've seen how fast this BMW gets through this last corner. Is able to ride that curb on the inside. Christopher Radloff, fastest purple sector of anybody. That is in sector 2. Is there a late lunge? Not close enough for a move just yet. But has Fleming gone too deep? No, he hasn't. He's able to hit that apex. Christopher Radloff puts his car right up behind that McLaren's rear bumper. And all that's going to happen is that as these two keep battling, it is going to pull. Ooh, how's the white line there on that inside tire, Mr. Radloff? And now these just about 3 starting to close up onto a back marker. But the back marker getting out of the way, moving to the outside, allowing the two to start up through the inside of turn number 9. Chris Radloff to the inside, not close enough for a move there. So Sinclair Tribe, they're saying, I think Henry did a 205.8. Was that in the practice? Because his best that I've got is a 206.6 currently. So definitely not now. He might have done it, but it could have been a invalidated lap. With Christopher right on the back of this McLaren. So the other opportunity would be to set him up for a move again through the last corner. We know this BMW is good through turn number 20. Just make sure he gets an exit and bangs that opportunity move into turn number 1. I think this is a smart move. Christopher just giving himself a little bit of pace or gap, which means he's able to get the drive, but not close enough this time. So some more battles happening on the track as Fleming getting a little bit sideways as he powers off the curb at turn number 1 on the exit. Through the S's, single foul, Christopher right up on the back now. Is this a setup for turn number 11? If you can get a good drive out through turn 9. Oh, a little kick of the rear there for Christopher. Still not close enough for an overtake. We'll jump back there now because we've got Etienne Mouton, who's in 18th place, up 8 positions from where he qualified. He's starting to close up onto the back of Seegers. Christopher not close enough to make a move at turn number 12. Rob down 2 places from where he had qualified, but it's still within a second there of David Farrell. Oh, this is Craig Eekhout and Stefan Kutsia side by side with Craig on the inside through turn number 17 now. But Stefan now on the outside. This is going to put him on the inside for turn 19. Little bit of a touching there. But Stefan now goes through and moves himself up into 23rd place. Rainer Roberts having just got a position ahead of Eekhout. Let's see if we can just go back and catch that. So, oh, there we go. It is Eekhout just losing a little bit of that rear. And Rainer is saying, thank you very much. I'll take that position, and moves himself up into 13th position. So Ruan still trying to find a way around Sean Marrero. And these two matching each other within the 100th of a second for the last lap. So really, really interesting racing here between these two fellow stablemates. David is behind Rob again. So what happened to David that he gave the position back to Rob? So an opportunity there. Ah, there we go. Now I've started to get my Facebook comments coming through as well. Thank you, Sean Domingo, saying awesome racing, guys. Amazing season, SARCO. Thank you, Sean. Would have liked to have seen you side by side as they go into turn number 7, and David just pulling out for turn number 9. Ooh, a little bit sideways as he gets that power on, but really an almighty battle. To think that they're still racing at this pace, and they are, remember, fighting for 19th and 20th place, but still showing each other the respect that is required, as Henry Meyer gets a little bit of a tank stepper coming out of turn number 11. And we are approaching the last 15 minutes of this race. And it just shows you how you set up for mixed conditions. You come to the race day and not a spot of rain. Well, I'll say there's some rain in sight, but definitely not going to be raining at this race. Just got a little slow down warning there for Chris Honecker. Son looks a little bit hesitant on their power, but does look like he is still going at maximum pace. And what I thought might be an extra position for Christopher Radloff, it looks like Fleming Bauer has been able to just slow down the charge of Christopher Radloff, and Paul Fenter just hanging in the wings there, just waiting for that opportunity. So 14.5 minutes left of this race, and that is going to be the end of season 1. So we are crowning a champion here this evening. Lucas is slow. What has happened to Lucas? Oh, it just looks like as he was going into turn 7, just looks like that rear just over-rotated a little bit. Just had to wait for some cars to get back on track. But he is away once again, and David and Rob still having a go at each other. Oh, I thought that would be a late lunge there for David, but not close enough. Sean Larrero having a contact warning. Is that between himself and Ruan? Not showing the no. But Sean now having opened a gap, but 22.9 seconds is the gap. So Ruan now unfortunately losing a little bit of pace there. And the battle that hasn't been concluded yet this evening is between Leon and Stefan Kutsia. These two still having a go at each other. Stefan half a second slower than Leon on the last lap, but it does look like he is closing up onto the back of Leon on this lap. So that half a second gap that was gained by Leon looks like it is under pressure now. Jason Landsberg dropping down the order. That's Anrich Seegers who's now moving up. But this does look like a overtake pressuring maneuver for Stefan. Can he get the drive out of turn number 20? Get that Porsche's rear hooked up. Looks like Leon did have a little bit of a late entry, which compromised when he could get the power on. And Stefan has definitely got a good run here. He's going to be right behind the BMW. He's going to have a little look to the inside. Not close enough to make a move. And unfortunately does not able to add that pressure. Carlo Pretorius on the back of Arano Roberts. Arano currently 13th. And these two 0.005 of a second was the difference in terms of their last lap. Jabulani getting a little bit loose at turn number 20. Carrot up 2 places from where he qualified. And Arano up 14 places from where he qualified. Absolutely fantastic drive there for him. So 27th to 14. That's definitely a drive. So BMW, oh, that actually gave me a bit of a fight. Those two were very wide off the track there. Look at that. So trying to use as much of the track as possible to open up this corner at turn number 12. So far, I must say, it does look like the BMW is in a little better position at this point. It does look like it's getting out of the corners nicely, and as I say that, it looks like Leon goes a little bit wide. That rear just stepping out a little bit, which allows Stefan to get right up on him. It's all going to be about how's he going to get out of the turn number 20. And that BMW is just pulling away. See 0.3 of a second, so the BMW definitely having a little bit of an opportunity to extend its legs running up the hill. And this is where Stefan is now able to start closing up again to get right behind the BMW. So for those who were wondering, yes, it has happened. Henry Meyer has done that 205 but it is a 2:05.497. So an absolute cracker of a lap so late on in the race. And before we miss this sideways action, it is Christopher Radloff going to the inside at turn number 12. But now Fleming Bauer is going to be on the inside at 13. Christopher, can he try go around the outside? Little touch of the rear, but he is able to hang on. But Fleming Bauer keeping that power on. Christopher's on the inside now through 13. Up through 15. Christopher Radloff going on the inside. Fleming just losing that traction and allowing the BMW to go through. So Christopher Radloff now up into a 5th place. But Fleming still coming back really, really hard. He's going to have a dive. He just not close enough to get that car on the inside. But it's all going to be about the drive coming up the hill. You can see a slight little downhill, then that massive wall ahead of you. And Christopher being able to open up a couple of car lanes between himself and the McLaren behind him. But the BMW now starting to do BMW things. And Christopher now opening up a little bit of a gap now. Just over 1 second now is the gap between himself and Fleming Bauer. Talk about racing to the dying moments is that Christopher has been chasing and chasing, got himself behind Fleming, started closing up that gap, but didn't quite make too much of an attack, and then all of a sudden, while we weren't really watching, just pounced and moved himself up into a 5th place. Towards turn number 12. Fleming just showing he might be having a late lunge there, but both Christopher and Fleming showing that they're a little bit slower into that corner, so that's quite interesting. All that McLaren getting pretty sideways now as he tries to get the power on, really pushing as hard as he can to close up onto the back of Christopher, keep that pressure on. But we know Fleming was having a little show through turn number 17. Will he have a lunge here? Late on the brakes is Christopher. He is able to hang on there as we approach the 6-minute mark. So 3 laps left. And this will be all she wrote in terms of this championship, season 1 of 2024. So extremely close racing at this point. And to be at it for over an hour and 10 minutes with still 5 minutes left to go. Anything can happen here. And we've seen it at SARCO. Anrich dropping down the order. Whoa, Christopher getting very sideways. Is that going to open up an opportunity for Fleming into turn number 11? Fleming most definitely has closed up onto the back of that BMW. Now it's an almighty battle, a drag to turn number 12. Does Christopher go defensive, or does he hang on the outside, foster the line for the entry into turn 12? Fleming not able to make the move there just yet. Into turn 15. And Fleming is all over the back of that BMW. Is there a move opportunity here into turn number 19? Christopher goes to the inside now for turn 19, just making it tricky for Fleming to move into the inside. Fleming now trying to get that drive up through turn number 20 on the exit. But this BMW definitely has legs up the hill. Fleming having a little move to the inside to try and psych out his competitor ahead of him. 3.5 minutes left to go, with Paul Fenter just waiting in the wings there for anything to happen. So Paul now within 2 seconds of this battle ahead. It is Alpha 1 Esports, Eleanor fighting for this 5th, 6th and 7th place. So that McLaren really does look good on the brakes. It's just amazing how on the faster sweeping stuff is that Christopher's able to pull away, but then on the brakes Fleming is able to close up right behind the BMW. Fleming once again just having a little show. You can see about half a car length is the gap between them. Is there a late lunge into turn number 13? He did try and squeeze up on the inside, not close enough to make a move. Christopher loses the rear a little bit. Fleming too can't get their power down to take advantage of the little mistake from the BMW. Christopher now is able to get a little bit of a breathing space. This is now 0.7, which is the biggest gap that he's currently had for the last couple of laps. Just need to see where Henry is. So 1 minute 50 left to go. So it looks like there will be one more lap after this, unless Henry just comes off the pace and crosses the line. Ryan Ottens currently in 2nd place. 10 seconds is the gap there. Moosa, some breathing space there between himself and Anrich Serodio now. 17 seconds is the gap between the two Project Vapor drivers. There's Anrich Serodio in 4th, up 1 position from where he qualified. And then the battle that we've been watching intently is between Christopher Radloff, Fleming Bauer, and Paul Fenter just in the background there a little bit. Edson Mouton, a yellow flag there for him. Let's see if we can pick up. Oh, we just got the end of that. It looks like a little over rotation off the curb. Now waiting to navigate some of the cars to go past before he gets back on the track.
Leaders on final lap now.
So there we go. Henry Meyer now on the final lap, but it is still this battle between Fleming Bauer and Christopher Radloff. This is the fight for 5th, 6th, and there's Paul Fenter, who has closed up that gap to now nearly within a second. Will Christopher be able to hang on for one more lap? And as I look through the rest of the field, there is still this battle between Leon and Stefan. It looks like Leon has got the drive. Stefan trying to defend on the inside, but he's going to have to let Leon go, but he's gone too deep. Stefan doing the little cut back, getting that position back, and unfortunately that move not working out for Leon in the end there. But a great opportunity. Back to the battle between Christopher Radloff and Fleming Bauer. Fleming just going in that narrow line once again, not trying to show Christopher off the curb, having a little bit of a sideways motion. I am seeing another battle currently on the cards. This is Rob van der Heever trying to get himself ahead of Ati Pienaar. Don't think he will be close enough for a move there, so we are able to just quickly jump back to the battle for 5th and 6th place. Don't want to miss the current leader of this race coming into the race as the championship points leader. See Fleming now having lost some time, so Christopher Radloff now down to 1 second. But ladies and gentlemen, if we can put our hands together, currently Henry Meyer, the championship leader, puts it on pole, gets the fastest lap time, will cross the line here at SARCO for season 1 and be crowned the new SARCO champion of the Wednesday Night League. Our defending champion has will need to be handing over that crown. Ryan Ottens comes home in 2nd place with Muaath, a well-fought 3rd there for him. Andre Serodio, him and Muaath really bringing the charge to the Alpha 1 guys, but unfortunately just not able to get those points where it was needed. Christopher Radloff, he will cross the line with Fleming Bauer right behind him in 6th place. Paul Fenter comes home in 7th. Justin Lotus, 8th place there for him. So Justin now heading towards turn number 20. So he will then cross the line and convert that 8th place into points. 9th position is Chris Heineke. Saw him battling it out with Marius earlier on in this race. Marius will come home in 10th place, and with that will crown him as the winner of the Pro-Am division. Sean Herrero 11th there for him, followed quite closely by Ruan Heineke in 12th place. Rainer Roberts up 14 places from where he qualified, so a great result there for him in 13th. Carlo Pretorius, 14th place there for him, managing to get himself ahead of Jason Farmer, who comes home in 15th place. Jason Landsberg finishes in 16th with Etienne Maton in 17th. Rob van der Heever 18th. Ati and Stefan Kutsia, great race there for the both of them. I'm pretty sure that they'll be extremely happy with the race that they had. Leon comes home in 21st place with Craig Eekhout 22nd, Jabulani Madzivandondo in 23rd, Lucas Chabert in 24th, and David Farrell in 25th position. Right guys, we're just going to call our podium winners into the Discord, and we will be with you shortly.
There was nothing quite like paging through a new NAG magazine. The smell of those freshly printed pages, incredible game artwork, and of course, all the gaming and hardware insights you can handle. Did you know that the NAG magazine is back in print? Yes!
Grab the latest copy online. It's the 2023 annual edition, and each magazine is individually numbered. You can also look forward to an exclusive poster in each magazine, and there are 2 cover DVDs with exclusive game demos, apps, and many hidden Easter eggs. Get yours at shop.nag.co.za before they're all gone.
We feel you.
In the shadowed corners of racing's memory, yesterday's champions await their triumphant return, patiently biding their time on the sidelines. And now, the wait is over. They are back. SARCO, UK versus USA. Powered by NAG.
So guys, we are just going to get our drivers into the Discord, so please just give us a minute or so, and we will be with you shortly. Alright everybody, we are in the drivers interviews, and with us we'll start off with Moosa in his BMW. Muaath, the third place here for you at COTA. Obviously some very interesting weather that came up this evening, because we've had this rain, non-rain throughout the week in terms of the servers. Seeing it dry, were you happy with that, or had you set up something for the wet?
Yeah, so I was expecting some sort of moisture on the track, to be honest. But yeah, it was a good race in the dry nonetheless. Pace was there definitely in the second stint. First stint was a bit hectic.
Yourself and Andre really had a great little battle there, but definitely no team orders, that's for sure.
Not so, just some team insider news there. I basically gave him a bomb draft so that he could get past Seegers. So with that bomb draft, I basically messed up my position. So I lost the position to Radloff, and then yeah, obviously what happened after that was a bit unfortunate, especially on Jager's side. But yeah, it's racing, I guess.
Don't worry, Mohammed, you can go back to the stream and you can see, and I even gave you guys a little bit of a shake and bake there.
So yeah, there was team orders at play there for a bit, but yeah, it was a black race. Happy with the result. I was a bit worried. Didn't really have the basic practice and all of that. But yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it. And also well done to Anrich again. Ottens, we need to find that secret curry recipe from him. It's like you guys are passing a pot or something. But yeah, well done on a good season, Anrich, as well as yourself, Ottens, especially in the new car.
And definitely in the new car. Let's go to you, Ryan. A second place for you, coming out of your comfort zone, out of the Ferrari and into the Porsche. In terms of your setup, did you also have something ready for the wet, but happy with the dry conditions? Or did you want the rain?
Yeah, I started quite heavy, hoping that it would rain later on, almost expecting it to rain later on, but that never came. So, yeah, I mean, the practice sessions, from what I hear from the team, were mostly wet. So,
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we were definitely expecting rain. I'm very happy it didn't come because ACC has not been my sim that I drive anymore. So I've been arriving and driving, and this Porsche in the wet when I tried it the other night was horrific. I think I would have come last. So I'm very lucky that it stayed dry.
Well, we'll definitely do a little account of the points there, but I'm pretty sure that you're quite high up in terms of that podium for the overall. But a great arrive and drive for you in a Porsche then. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, and well done to Henry and Moosa. I mean, Moosa, you just didn't have the consistency there to catch me. You had the pace, but it didn't seem like you could do that pace every lap, so I got lucky, I guess. But I'll take it, hey? Consistency wins the race, eh? Well, this second, but anyway.
The race between yourself and Muaath, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Henry was on a different planet, so we just forget about him.
And then let's go to you, Henry. So coming into the last race, 30 points clear of Ryan. putting it on pole, and from there, was it just about bringing it home? Was that the plan, or was the plan to just go out and have a win?
From the start, the plan was not to get a DT. That would have ruined everything. But yeah, then it was just try and keep it clean, not messing something up. The pace was good from Ryan and Muaath at the end. Good race, fun race.
So just talking about the DT, did you have any track warnings yourself?
Yes, I got one in my second stint.
Okay, so you still had 2 more to play with if you needed to increase that pace. On the chat, it did come through to say that you had done a 205, and I went and I corrected them, said sorry, I've still got a 206.6 on the clock, and then all of a sudden, a few laps later, you went and banged in that 205.4, so you definitely tuned me wrong, so thank you for that.
Yeah, because I lost the purple lap somewhere, and I checked and I saw Moosa took it, so I was just like, maybe it's time to get it back a bit.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that definitely makes sense. And then with that, obviously, you're going in ahead, having the win. That then makes you the new SARCO champion for 2024 and taking that crown over from Ryan Ottens. So congratulations to you.
Thanks very much. Congrats to Ryan and Meyer. Good race at the end, good season, good championship. Fighting it till the end.
And that's exactly what we want. So to everybody who has joined us, all the drivers that participated, thank you very much for coming and supporting us here at SARCO. To all the fans that were out there that did come and support and send your comments, thank you very much. A big thank you to nag.co.za. Without them, we wouldn't be able to keep the series running. And go check out, if you do want that NAG magazine, it is shop.nag.co.za. Really looking forward to getting your own copy. I freaking love my NAG magazine. It's just so nostalgic, and now I'm able to hand it over to my son, as well as to MSR for the components we have for the stream. Thank you very much for that, guys. And look, we are going to go on to a little bit of a 3-week break here while we get the new season ready for season 2, but we do have something a little bit different planned. There'll still be the same structure, but we're going to throw in a few little curveballs. So guys, without that, all we can say is don't forget, next week's Saturday is the 16th of March. It is our 12 hours of Paul Ricard, the endurance. If you haven't entered, go enter that. There is 10,000 Rand worth of prize money up for grabs there, and really looking forward to seeing you. So guys, without further ado, thank you to everyone again. But all we can say here from SARCO is keep racing, keep practicing, and thanks for watching. Yos.